Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Please consider subscribing and check out our Patreon for more. Enjoy the video. The sun had just begun its descent, casting long shadows across the room. The air was thick with anticipation as the two siblings, Jake and Emily, faced each other, their eyes gleaming with excitement. "Are you sure about this?" Jake asked, his voice laced with a mixture of eagerness and trepidation. He stood tall, his broad shoulders squared, as if ready to face a challenge. "Of course I am," Emily replied, her eyes sparkling with determination. "We've planned this for weeks. It's time to show everyone that we're not just siblings, but sisters." She stepped forward, a mischievous smile playing at the corners of her mouth. "Besides, you know you want to." Jake bit his lip, his heart racing. He knew she was right. The idea of dressing up as a girl and pretending to be her sister had intrigued him for months. It was a secret fantasy he had shared only with Emily. And now it was about to become a reality. "Okay," he whispered, his eyes widening at the prospect. "Let's do it." And so the transformation began. Emily whisked him away to her bedroom, a girly sanctuary adorned with pastel colors and fluffy pillows. The scent of vanilla and coconut filled the air, whisking Jake away to a world of feminine charm. He felt his heart flutter as he took in the surroundings, realizing that this was truly happening. "Here," Emily said, handing him a silk robe, its fabric smooth and alluring. "Put this on while I get your hair and makeup done." Jake nodded, his fingers tracing the soft material. He slipped the robe over his broad frame, feeling the silky fabric caress his skin. As he belted it, he caught a glimpse of himself in the mirror, his reflection an intriguing mix of masculine and feminine. "Now," Emily said, her tone upbeat as she slipped on a pair of fluffy slippers. "Let's get you glammed up." She led him to the heart of the room, where an array of makeup, hair tools, and accessories lay spread out like a magical treasure trove. Jake's breath caught in his throat as he took in the sight, realizing the extent of their transformation plan. "Have a seat," she instructed, gesturing to a vanity stool. Obediently, he sat, his heart pounding in his chest. Emily stood behind him, her hands resting gently on his shoulders. "Relax," she cooed. "You're going to look amazing." Her fingers, deft and gentle, began working their magic, massaging his scalp as she worked a rich, foamy mousse through his hair. The cool sensation sent shivers down Jake's spine, and he closed his eyes, surrendering to the experience. He murmured, unable to contain a soft sigh of pleasure. "That feels incredible." "Just wait till you see the final look," Emily teased, her breath warm against his ear. As she worked, the sound of the hairdryer filled the room, mingling with the soft melody of a pop song playing in the background. Emily hummed along, her fingers skillfully separating sections of hair, expertly wielding the round brush to create volume and curl. "There," she said after what felt like an eternity of pampering. "All done." Jake opened his eyes, turning to face the mirror. His breath caught in his throat as he beheld his reflection. His hair, once short and messy, now fell in soft, luxurious waves that framed his face. It was a style he had only dreamed of, and now it was his reality. "Wow," he whispered, his eyes widening at the sight. "I look gorgeous," Emily finished for him, a proud smile on her face. "I knew this style would suit you." Jake reached up, tentatively touching the soft curls, still warm from the dryer's heat. "It's like I'm someone else," he marveled. "That's the point, silly," Emily chuckled. "Now let's move on to makeup." The makeup application was a ritual in itself. Emily carefully selected each product, explaining their purpose as she applied them to Jake's intrigued gaze. Primer, foundation, concealer, each layer transformed his features, creating a flawless canvas for the colors to come. "Your skin is already so smooth," Emily commented as she blended the foundation. "But this will give you that porcelain doll look." Jake felt a thrill as he watched his masculine features soften and transform. The concealer hid the hint of a beard shadow, while the blush applied to the apples of his cheeks gave him a youthful, radiant glow. "Now for the eyes," Emily said, her own eyes sparkling with excitement. She handed him a pair of false eyelashes, their length and volume dramatic. "These will really make a statement." Jake had never worn false lashes before, and as Emily carefully applied them, he felt a sense of transformation unlike anything he had ever experienced. The lashes brushed his cheeks as he blinked, their weight a constant reminder of his new look. "Wow," he breathed, unable to look away from his reflection. "This is amazing." Emily beamed at his reaction. "Just wait, we're not done yet." She reached for an eyeshadow palette, a rainbow of hues that promised to bring his eyes to life. With careful brushstrokes, she transformed his lids, blending shades of pink and purple to create a smoky, sultry look. "Your eyes are stunning," she commented, her own eyes reflecting the colors she painted. "I knew these shades would make them pop." Jake could only nod, speechless as he witnessed the artistry before him. The transformation was so complete that he barely recognized himself. His eyes, now accented with shadow and liner, seemed to dance with a newfound femininity. "Now for the final touches," Emily said, her tone triumphant as she reached for a tube of lipstick. The color she chose was a bold, vibrant pink, a shade that screamed femininity and confidence. Jake watched, mesmerized, as she carefully outlined and filled in his lips, transforming them into a Cupid's bow of perfection. "There," she said, stepping back to admire her handiwork. "You're officially one of us now." Jake rose from the stool, his heart pounding as he stood in his new persona. He felt lightheaded, as if he had stepped into someone else's body. Turning to the full-length mirror, he gazed at his reflection, taking in the full effect of their efforts. The silk robe hugged his broad shoulders and fell gracefully to his knees, accentuating his height. His hair, styled in soft waves, framed his face, drawing attention to his stunning eye makeup and those luscious lips. He was, quite simply, breathtaking. "I can't believe it," he whispered, his voice hoarse with emotion. "I look like a model." "You are a model," Emily corrected, her eyes shining with pride and joy. "My gorgeous sister." Jake turned to face her, his heart overflowing with gratitude and love. "Thank you," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "This means the world to me." Emily stepped forward, wrapping him in a hug. "You're welcome," she whispered. "I'm just glad I could help you explore this side of yourself." They stood embraced, two siblings transformed into sisters, their hearts beating in unison. It was a moment of pure happiness, a bubble of joy that they wished could last forever. But the night was still young, and their adventure had only just begun. "Now," Emily said, breaking the embrace and stepping back with a mischievous glint in her eye, "let's go show the world our new sister act." Jake's heart raced as the reality of their plans sank in. This was it, the moment they would step out into the world, not as siblings, but as sisters. He felt a mix of excitement and nervousness as he imagined the reactions they would elicit. "Are you ready?" Emily asked. "I think so," Jake replied, his voice steady despite the butterflies in his stomach. "Let's do this." Side by side, they strode toward the door, their heels clicking in unison on the hardwood floor. Emily, the orchestrator of this transformation, exuded confidence and poise, while Jake, still adjusting to his new form, felt a sense of power and freedom with each step. As they stepped out into the evening breeze, the soft cotton of Jake's robe billowed slightly, offering a tantalizing glimpse of the curves they had carefully created. The air was crisp, carrying the scent of freshly cut grass and the promise of a memorable night. "Our first stop," Emily announced, "the mall." The mall was a bustling hub of activity, illuminated by the soft glow of fluorescent lights. Music piped through the speakers, a lively accompaniment to the chorus of conversations and the soothing hum of air conditioning. Jake felt his heart rate quicken as they stepped through the sliding doors, suddenly aware of the attention they might attract. He straightened his posture, unconsciously echoing the graceful stance of his sister. They wandered through the maze of stores, a kaleidoscope of colors and displays. Emily, a seasoned shopper, led the way, pointing out items of interest, shoes, dresses, accessories that accentuated their new sisterly bond. "Ooh, look at that handbag," Emily cooed, pointing to a display of designer purses. "Wouldn't that be perfect with your outfit?" Jake bit his lip, his eyes lighting up at the sight of the sleek pink handbag. "It's gorgeous," he murmured, already imagining how it would complement his silk robe. "You need it," Emily declared, her tone resolute. "Every girl deserves a fabulous handbag." They giggled like conspirators as they entered the store, Jake running his fingers over the soft leather of the bag as if it were a forbidden fruit. The sales assistant, a stylish young woman with a nose ring and purple hair, approached them with a friendly smile. "Hello, ladies," she greeted them. "How can I help you today?" "We're just browsing," Emily replied, her voice bright and cheerful. "But we're looking for something special to complete our night out." The assistant's gaze flicked appraisingly over their outfits, taking in the silk robe and wavy hair, the hint of cleavage and swish of hips. "Well," she said, her voice warm and inviting, "you both look fabulous. Let me know if you need any help finding the perfect accessory." "Thanks," Jake replied, his voice a little higher than usual as he tried to match his appearance. The words felt strange on his tongue, but exhilarating. They browsed the displays, touching fabrics and comparing styles. Jake felt a rush of excitement as he tried on a pair of oversized sunglasses, feeling like a celebrity hiding behind the dark lenses. "Very Hollywood," Emily teased, snapping a photo of him with her phone. "You've got the look down pat." Flush with confidence from her compliment, he couldn't help but smile, knowing that this was just the beginning of their night of make-believe. Their shopping bags now laden with new treasures, they made their way toward the food court, the aroma of fresh-baked cookies and sizzling stir-fry filling the air. Jake breathed, his stomach rumbling. "I could definitely go for some dinner." "Let's get a table," Emily suggested, leading the way to an outdoor seating area. "We can relax and enjoy the evening." They settled at a table, the warm breeze playing with their hair as they chatted and laughed. Jake felt a sense of contentment as he tucked into his meal, savoring the flavors and the company. "So," Emily began, a playful smile on her face, "how does it feel to be one of the girls?" Jake paused, fork halfway to his mouth, and considered the question. "Liberating," he said at last, setting down his utensils and leaning back in his chair. "Like I can finally express a part of myself that's always been hidden." Emily nodded, her eyes understanding. "I'm glad you're embracing it. It's not easy to break free from societal expectations." "No, it's not," Jake agreed, his gaze sharpening as he looked around the mall, taking in the diverse crowd. "But it's worth it to be true to yourself." "Absolutely," Emily said, raising her water bottle in a mock toast. "Here's to breaking free and being who we want to be." Their bottles clinked, a quiet celebration of their shared understanding. As they finished their meals, the sun had set, bathing the mall in a soft, romantic glow. Jake felt a sense of satisfaction as he looked around, realizing that their sister act had gone unnoticed by those around them. He was just another girl, enjoying a night out with her sibling. "Ready to head home?" Emily asked, stretching her arms above her head. Jake nodded, suddenly feeling the weight of the day's excitement. "Yeah, I think I'm ready to call it a night." Arm in arm, they strolled back through the mall, their bags swinging by their sides. The evening had been a success, and now they looked forward to the comfort of home. "It's been an amazing night," Jake said as they walked, his voice soft and grateful. "Thank you for making this happen." Emily squeezed his arm. "You're welcome. It's been fun for me, too. I love seeing you embrace this side of yourself." They arrived home, the familiar surroundings welcoming them like a warm embrace. Jake sighed contentedly as he kicked off his heels, feeling the relief of sore feet. Home sweet home, Emily sighed, collapsing onto the couch. Now we can really relax. Jake grinned, remembering the reason for their little adventure in the first place. Yeah, and continue our sisterly bonding. Exactly, Emily said, a mischievous glint returning to her eye. So, what do sisters do when they have some downtime? They gossip, of course, Jake replied, settling into the couch opposite her, their feet touching in the middle. They talk about boys, crushes, and dreamy celebs. Emily grinned. My sentiments exactly, and we have a lot of catching up to do. So they did. Their voices filled the room as they chatted about school, friends, and the latest heartthrobs that had caught their eye. Jake felt a warmth spread through him as he shared these intimate details, relishing the sisterly bond they had forged. The moon climbed higher in the night sky, painting the room with a soft silver light. As the hour grew late, their voices became softer, their conversation turning to more personal topics. Do you think you'll ever do this again? Emily asked quietly, her eyes searching his. Jake considered the question, his heart thrumming in his chest. I'd like to, he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. It's been freeing. I never knew how much I needed this. Emily smiled, her eyes shining with a mix of joy and understanding. Then we'll make it a regular thing, our little sisterly secret. Jake felt a rush of affection for his sister, his partner in crime. Deal, he whispered, their pinky fingers linking in a promise. And as the night finally surrendered to the dawn, two siblings, bound by love and understanding, fell asleep, dreaming of the adventures their new sisterhood would bring. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Patreon for a lot more content and early access to YouTube videos.